Just before I start, I just want to mention Zack Bailey's game on the weekend. Nah.
Let's start there, actually. Let's talk him a bit. What a game he had.
Yeah, it was a good game from Ratty. He's been chipping away the last few weeks and probably says that hasn't been quite near his best. So for him to turn it on the weekend, we all know the power that he's got as a player for us. So it was great to see that on the weekend.
You guys have got so many weapons there, and he's been one for years, but probably with the injuries and stuff hasn't been at his best, like you said.
Yeah.
See him sort of reaching that.
Yeah, injuries are always the little things that can get guys down, and I've experienced it. A lot of guys experienced it this year, and he's been one that's been pretty resilient in what he's been able to do and consistently performing for us. But on the weekend, you got to see the best, which is what we aspire to get from him week in, week out now.
He, I think up here we see how good he can be, but maybe he's still a bit underrated, even after all these years around the traps. Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you could probably say that for a lot of our boys. Like, if we were down in Melbourne, I'm sure a lot of them would be talked about more. But, I mean, us, it's what we do in the four walls. We give them high praise and that kind of thing, and for them to play on confidence. So for us, it's just about giving them that confidence and them being able to play, as I said, consistently.
What are 7 weeks out now, Josh, from finals? Like, do you feel like you're in a sprint to the finish line with such congestion in that top half of the ladder?
Oh, not really. Don't really look too far ahead. I think we feel we're in a good position at the moment. We just got to keep winning games of football, and no matter how we do that, whether we win by 1 point or 20 or 30 or whatever it is, it's just a win. So for us, it's about stacking up those wins and getting as many as we can, and then hopefully that holds us in good stead at the end of the year.
You guys have been really good at winning at this time of year the last few years. Like, is that, do you feel that, is there a sense of confidence in how you've been able to do that over the last couple of years, and do you think that'll help when it gets tight?
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like there is a bit of confidence there. You know, the last couple of years we've been good after the bye, and obviously everyone gets a bye and you get a week off to reset, and we really do it well. I think we look at our game, we look at the things we can improve, and we like to train that and then implement it on game day. So for us, it's been another, I'm talking the bye now, the last week that we had reviewing our game and how we were going was really good and positive, and I felt like we put some of that into action on the weekend and still looking to improve this week as well.
Your coaches mentioned pressure, or I guess the wavering of it maybe a couple of times in the last month or so. How do you address that, and how do you tweak that to be more consistent?
Yeah, I mean, pressure, I feel like for us it's all mental. I mean, we want to rock up to games week in, week out and bring the same heat that we could bring on the road, at home, wherever it is. So it's always an ongoing battle. In AFL football these days, if you're slightly off, the opposition will get you. I mean, every team in the competition is a good team. Like, we're playing AFL football, we know that they're the best players that they've got. So for us, it's just about rocking up mentally and physically and getting our best and consistent performances, as I mentioned before.
Tell us about your confidence playing on the road then. You've got a ridiculous record in the last 12 to 15 months away from home.
I just think we enjoy it, to be honest. Like, we love getting away together. We talk about our brotherhood, our mateship and relationships that we have, not only as players, but with the staff and the coaches, and we just love getting on the road together and enjoy it that way. So for us, it's been nice to be able to have a good record, but we don't really look at that. We look at what we're facing this week, and that's the Blues, who will be red hot, steam ahead, and look forward to the challenge.
I guess they're going to be desperate in terms of pressure on Vossi and that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've experienced when you're a bit under pressure as a Melbourne footy club, and it is hard, but there's nothing to lose. So I think that element of their mental and their thinking behind the game will be that their backs are against the wall. They've got nothing to lose, so we've got to really prepare for that. I think you get the best footy out of teams when they're thinking like that, and they've got that freedom in their game. So we're going to have to be on edge on Thursday night, because they'll be rocking up, and we know that they'll play their best footy.
Patrick Cripps is a guy that you've gone head-to-head with like a handful of times, certainly since you've been here, and I guess at the Dogs as well. What's a different challenge with him versus a Bont or a Rao or those other sort of ball-hunting midfielders that you've come up against?
Yeah, Cripps is a star. I love going against him. We've always had some really good battles, and he's very similar to Bond. They're so big and hard to move. Obviously, the one wood is the contest work and being able to spread from there. So for me, I just look forward to that challenge. He's been one of the best players in the competition for such a long period of time now. So my respect levels are so high for him, and I can't wait to have the opportunity again on Thursday night.
Did you have you approached it differently at the clearances and stoppages with the umpire contact tweaks?
Yeah, I mean, I've experienced an umpire contact in the last, I think it was against North early in the year, and probably the lesson that I got out of it is you can't start behind the umpire, and if you run into that area, you've got to be careful of the umpire. So there's certainly little things that have changed within the game, and you've got that awareness for that. And then, yeah, obviously the new rule that they've brought in, I feel like it's fair if you're starting in that region and you're running into it, and you know that you're sort of running into it. But if it's an accident, I feel like it might be a little bit too harsh if you do miss a week or two.
Was there more vigilance, do you think, this weekend after they announced the rules changed?
Oh, definitely. I think it's well talked about amongst the media and the players and the footy world. So I feel like guys will be a lot more careful with it. I probably wasn't on the weekend thinking about it too much because you just want to play footy. It is hard when you're out there playing footy and thinking about other things outside of footy. So for me, as I said, I just learnt that lesson against North Melbourne earlier in the year and have tried to use that moving forward.
Josh, I don't know if you're an NBA man, but there's been this talk in the past couple of days about this in-season cup within the season, like they do in the sort of NBA. What do you sort of think of that?
Yeah, I personally think it'd be great. Like I feel like if we can play every team once and then have a little in-season tournament like the NBA do, and then potentially wildcard round or whatever it might be, state of origin, little things like that to get games of footy played by all of us, I think would be really exciting for the competition. I mean, when you play everyone once, it's good, it's fair, and you get to see how you go against opposition in one game. Whereas I feel like at the moment there's times where we're playing different teams and other teams are playing different teams, and the competitive advantage and that kind of thing is always a bit, it's a question mark for a lot of people. So for us, it's about playing the best and everyone once, and then that mid-season tournament would be pretty cool.
And the you mentioned what's the name, state of origin.
Yep.
How important is that to you
To
guys?
players?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty important. I mean, guys, we saw the Indigenous All-Stars play that game early in the season, before the season actually started, and that was really exciting, I felt. And to be able to do that across the states of origin that you can represent and really, go back to your state and enjoy that moment with other players that are from similar areas. I think that's priceless. So I'm not sure the time of year that it's played, but if it is played mid-season, I think it'd be exciting.